Okay, before we put this on, you get this shim. This is new for the Wolverine, but this is a 1/2 of a millimeter shim. So it goes right on the shaft. There's our collar, and it slides around the splines, and then our sheave goes on. But try not to touch the face, and then put pressure on this. Okay. All right. Now, I usually take my belt and give it some slack. And right here, which is the most important part about this installation, this is the part that everybody messes up and has problems with. It's real easy. Remember I told you this is not a washer, this is a spacer. The thickness of this washer is thicker than the amount of splines sticking out right here to this cam plate. So when you place your washer slash spacer, you'll see, look how much bigger it is than the shaft. But when you push it back in the back, it goes around the splines, and then it's the same size. So you kind of hold it there and then put on your nut. And I just keep holding it in the same spot till I get my nut attached. So everything's in place. Now, this is a liability thing. I'll tell you to get a service manual and you torque that. But I don't know how you're going to hold it, and we don't have a holding tool, and I don't know of a way you can hold it. So I'm just telling you what I've been doing for 12 years is use an impact on this, put it back on. I believe the torque is, don't even get me a line, and I should know this, but it's just too much liability in torquing. So get a service manual and do it. I believe it's 70 pounds or maybe even 100. But in 12 years, 12 years of doing this, I've never had one of these come off doing it this way. Alright, then basically take the screw back out. And I usually, you can do it several ways. You can turn this to the belt and get slack again, or you can crank it up, either or. This vehicle's in neutral, and eventually it gets tight, because what happens is that secondary just opens up. So now we're back good to go. Alright, so one thing you notice here, we do not put the cover back on. We remove the O-ring. We do not put the screws back on. When you go greaseless, there's just no need in it. The purpose of the cover, as you'll look here, it's got a big hole in it, and you can look up inside there, there's grease. So without the cover, the grease will sling out. Its only purpose is to hold grease. So if you put it on with a dry setup, then all this space in here can trap dirt and it can't get out. So that's the other idea of this, of going greaseless, is that it's cleaner and cooler because it doesn't have the cover. And also, while we're here, if in the future, if you wanted to do some cleaning, I mean, you could take it all the way back apart here. That's probably best. I've told people they could pressure wash it. I don't know that I'd actually do that, but you could because there's no grease. But just go and take it out and wash it out with a hose. That lubrication's not coming out of there. You can't get it out unless you grind it out. Okay? And it's just, man, it's slick. That stuff works great. Okay, so our sheave's back on. Then we simply take our bearing support, put it back on, line it up on the shaft. Alright. Take my long screw, bottom left hand side. Alright. And the long one on the top right. This is the manner in which I always do it. And then, of course, a short. And the last one can be kind of tricky. It's in a hard spot. There it went. Alright, so basically our sheave is installed. And there is an explanation video about our sheave, but you can't see it right here. But if you'll notice, before you ever take yours off, right here, right around this secondary clutch, that belt right there is even with the top. And we've moved it. I haven't actually measured it, but it's greater than 1/8 of an inch for sure. Probably closer to 3/16 of an inch sticking out. And it's very close to the cover. I had a fake cover, and depending on what videos you might see, it's real close. But actually, like right here, I can stick my little finger between them, and then the other cover comes down. They're still about 1/8 of an inch. But in our explanation video, this is why you just can't get any more low end out of it, because any more, the belt's going to hit the cover. Now, I experimented, FYI, with a different belt and another setup, and man, did I have some low end, but I'll show you. Oh, and I painted it because I wanted to see if it was going to rub it again, but in this area right here, my cover, it grew my cover up good. So I just wasn't able to do that. I had to buy me a new cover, and I'm going to put my new cover back on. Alright, so from this point, just put your cover back on, hoses back, and then when you get all done, use that wire tie right up here attached to something. I wire tied them through the same holes, but when I took it back apart this time, I realized that I had to have the bed off to even do that. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but either or, that worked out. But the main part is the sheave setup. So that's our install on the Wolverine. If you got any questions, concerns, give me a call here at Hunterworks, and as usual, I'd be glad to help you.